Good evening, everybody. This is the Woo Worlds Weekly. This is going to be my update to you in case you've been busy. There's been so much happening on the leaderboards, and if you can't keep up with it every single day, every hour, like myself, I thought I'd just put this into a bit of a bite-sized version for you to cover what has been happening over the last week. We've got a few cool things to show you this evening. I've been on the phone to Nick Jacobson and his Team Daisies, the Danish Daisies, who are top of their respective discipline. We catch up with them. I've got a nice little look at the forecast and what's been going on with the wind. But this is the Woo Worlds, and this is $50,000 of prizes, which is pretty amazing, which is up for grabs for you here. We have also 12 kites. There's 12 brand new kites. They're 2022 kites, and already we have handed out 3 of those, so congrats to the winners of that. That's been pretty amazing. That all you have to do to be in for a chance there is hashtag your sessions with Woo Worlds, but you must make sure that your sessions are for 30 minutes or more as well. So do enter, because it looks pretty amazing the chances you get. It's something like 1 in 150 or something like that to actually get a chance to get yourself a brand new kite. So let's get on with this then. Let's take a quick look at the leaderboards. I was going to give you a little overview of the things I've been keeping an eye on, because I'm getting breaking news sent to me all the time. So these are some of the highlights. And the best way really that I think you can keep up to date with it is actually just via the website. There's a really beautiful website that's been done by the team where you can see absolutely everything. And I'm going to show you that now. So let's head on over here. That's the screen that I wanted you to see. So this is the Woo Worlds leaderboards here, which you can see quite nicely. They're all on the same page. Of course, it's $50,000 up for prize. So we're going to start with really sort of a highlight of what's actually been going over and what's been going on, because it's been a lot of light wind in Europe, so we don't have maybe some of the big names that we expected. When I actually look at the top 10 for both the men and the ladies' highest jump, if you looked at the overall all-time, there's only one person inside the top 10 on that in this competition that's actually in the Woo World's top 10. So I think some of the big names have yet to go out and have their big session. So let's just go straight into the men then. And for the men, really, it's Brett Mason from South Africa that we did catch up with. We did have a great call with him. You might have saw that already on the Woo channels. He got a really nice session in at Misty Cliffs, and anyone that kite surfs there anyway in season knows just how lucky you've got to be to get the right conditions. And he explained really well, actually, just how he got, he almost got a lucky jump. So he finds himself in the $2,000 position. There he is, Brett Mason, just over there with 23 meters. I've got a feeling you're going to need a bit more than that to win this. And as I scroll down, the name that I mentioned that was actually inside the top 10 of the all-time, and I'm just going to move over to that here. We're in the women at the moment. Here we go. Here's the men. So a lot of the big names are yet to post their first sessions in the, in the height. Martin Hager, Big Air Mike, but it's Jason van der Spy, or van der Spee, should probably know him by now. There he is in 4th place. He's the only one in the top 10 to be there so far. So some pretty good jumps so far, but with this light wind, in Europe, we haven't really had any of those big ones over here just yet. And taking a look at the ladies as well, it's a similar situation where we have Cassandra Coverley down there from Australia. She also, in the women's, is the only person inside the top 10. Here she is down here. She's got an 18.1. She's from Australia. We did say that Australia did get some great wind at the start of this. So Australia, Estonia especially, Western Australia that is, they really started this thing off really well. So maybe that will change over the course of time. But she does find herself, Cassandra, at just 2nd place to Trina Trey. Now Trina is from Estonia, and she's a bit of a ripper as well. And we scroll down, Bibiana's one of the big names we know as well. But there's so many sessions already entered so far, and I think it's going to be pushing 20 meters for sure. 20 meters is definitely going to be where it's at, I think, for the ladies to get up there and be looking at that top spot. So let's take a little look further now. And we're going to take a look at one of the categories that is nearly finished. It's almost finished in some countries. And this is going to be for, here we go, this team discipline here, which is the team height. So it's the Danish Daisies that are absolutely smashing this at the moment. They have 20.8 kilometers. That's almost double Team Clickbait. And they have really been putting some sessions in here. And I'm talking like sleeping in the car, getting up early. It's Nick Jacobson's team. So those of you that think that professional kite surfers don't put the time in, you'd be completely wrong. And I managed to catch up with them earlier and had a great call with Nick and some of the team. So let's just show you that video here now.
Guys on the team. He's got the daisies there on his ear. I think the name was just it just sounded good, and we are Danish, so that's how it came about, to be honest.
The daisies sort of gives across an image that you guys are a bit soft, but you've actually been caning the kilometers, you know, like that was quite some marathon that you've done already. You're at the top of the leaderboard, I think, or thereabouts. Do you plan on staying there until the end?
Well, I hope we can stay there. We don't have any wind here in Denmark at the moment. So hopefully, I mean, when we did it, we saw a nice forecast on the west coast of Denmark, and we all decided just to go and just to do downwinders for the entire day. So we started pretty early, and we did 2 downwinders of, well, we had a small session out front, and then we started doing downwinders. We did 2, and it was from A to B. I think it was 20 kilometers. But that's in a straight line, and you got to keep in mind you're tagging quite a bit when you're kiting. So I think we did, Kent. What did you?
65 kilometers at the first run.
65 kilometers on the first run, yeah. And we're pretty freaking dead when we got to the car, and we had to pump the kites again for a second downwinder, and we didn't really feel like it, but the Woo World motivated us to do it again.
Have you trained for this, or has this just been Nick said, right, we're all going to go and do this, just trust me guys, ride with me?
No, not trained at all for this. Just doing a lot of small jumps. I was on the 11, and then I just have to do a lot of push up with the legs.
What, the woosting?
The woosting, yeah.
And you can catch up with the rest of that call a bit later on. You'll find that on all the Woo platforms. Now, I also want to take a brief look at the total height for the juniors and the seniors, because there's some pretty impressive background to some of the riders in that. So let's head over and take a look at that. So in the juniors here, we have Kent, you can see, is in second place. He was in first for quite a while. And so it's a bit of a battle going on between Kent Fassbender and Vlad Karagata. And it was the Romanian rider that went into first place here, into the $1,000 position. And he went to Göçada. And we'll talk about Göçada in a little while, from Turkey. That's a spot in Turkey. And he logged in a 17.5 on an 8-meter read-in supermodel to put himself into first place. So well done with him. There's lots of riders here from the UK. I can see Max Tullett, Charlie King. There's a few in there, and I imagine they've been riding the light sort of northeasters that we might have, maybe down sort of the Greatstone way. Now, if we look at the seniors as well, the seniors is crazy. Some of the stats I found on the seniors were pretty unbelievable. So we'll go and take a look at the seniors now, and it's an 18.3 for John Summers that's currently the top. So this guy has a personal best of 27.9. He has a 27.9 personal best, which is pretty impressive, you know, for the senior division. There'll be lots of people that would love to have that in the normal discipline as well. And one of the riders here is 74 years old. That's pretty impressive. The amount of people I meet in my life that say they're too old to do kiteboarding, we have somebody here that actually has, you know, he's in the top 10 of the seniors, and he's 74. So that's very inspiring indeed. Let's go back and just wrap up some of these leaderboards then for you as well. We have total height as well, just scrolling on down here. There we go. Here we go. Individual total height. And this has been quite impressive as well. Robin Burkhart's really putting in quite some distances here of 10.5 kilometres. And he's winning against Urfa the kite surfer on 8.1. But when we go down even further, you can see just how far ahead the Danish team are from Team Clickbait. We also spoke in midweek to Team Bajatazo or Bajatazo for your really bad Spanish. Now, they just entered out of nowhere and went straight to the top. Now, that's pretty good, 94.8 metres. And the way this works, if you haven't read the rules already, is that it will be your best 5 riders will contribute their highest jumps for this. So they said they wanted to get at least 100 metres in combined height between 5 of them. That would be a 20-metre jump each. And they've almost done that already. If you look, that's actually 94.8 metres. That's not far away at all. That's very impressive. We also have to move on and talk about the total distance. There we go. Total distance, 1 hour. Flying Foe was in first for a while, but then taking it off him was Jack McKendrick. He managed to get into first for a little bit, doing 39.5 kilometres covered in 1 hour using a 15-metre fly surfer, which seems to be a popular kite. That was in Mallorca in Spain. But then Andreas Gustafsson from Sweden took the top spot from Jack, also on a fly surfer. His max speed was 58 kilometres an hour and he logged an impressive 40.1. Just to pip Jack there. Look how close that is, you can see, for him to go into first place. So well done to him. Now, people have been asking me why there hasn't been so many amazing sessions go on. You know, it's always windy usually in Europe, especially where I am in the UK. And it's really down to a big high pressure that we have pushing all of the nice warm weather. Certainly where I am, it's t-shirt and not even, it's shorts weather at the moment in England, which is just wonderful. But I wanted to show you a bit of a preview for what we're going to see around the world in the next 4 or 5 days, because there's lots of spots where I'm really anticipating lots of sessions coming in from. So let's take a look at that now. And this section I'm going to call Where's the Wind? Where's the wind? Where's the wind? Where's the wind? So it's pretty easy to actually take a look in, you know, like nice clear quality what's going on with the wind forecast. And I like to use that with Wind Guru. This is my typical place. I mean, here is really where the wind isn't at the moment, all this light wind around. But if we just click up here at the maps and take a look at the forecasts, we can see, there we go, there's not much wind over Europe at the moment. But I want to take a look at a number of places. Now, here's one of them, and this is a spot I know quite well, an area I know quite well. As we move in, there's Athens there. These islands, which are very good for wind as well, and I think Gotrada is over here somewhere, or up here. I think that's Gotrada there. So this is where a lot of the sessions are coming in from as well. Just sort of on the Greek Sea, even in the, I think in the Black Sea as well, they had some wind. But there's some good wind around the area. I can quickly click there and show you what sort of forecast they've had. You know, maybe a bit of 40 knots as well. It's been pretty good there. The other place which has been getting some good sessions that we've noticed is in Egypt. So if we come down here, the Red Sea Resort of Egypt, sort of going down to Hurghada. Let's see if we can take a quick glimpse at those areas just south down there. That's been pretty good as well. So they've been getting constant nice pink colours, which is obviously what you want to see when you're taking a look at the weather forecast. But one place has really been getting some incredible wind that I want to talk to you about. So we're going to go back on here again. And if we zoom right out, such a nice way to look at the wind. I really like to look at the wind like this. And we're going to go right down to New Zealand. Now look at these colours coming in here. This is pretty impressive. Now there's some major wind. This is Wellington. It's a spot I've been to before. We're going to zoom right in here. And so the Kiwis did have a bit of a lockdown during the start of this. I'm not sure if they're out of it now. They might want to be. But take a look at this forecast. That is a real forecast with 46, 47. It gets better and better. They're going to have some good wind come up for sure. So that's the place I'd like to be right now, is over in New Zealand. That's looking really good, especially in between those two islands. So that pretty much wraps us up for a quick catch up on the Woo Worlds, catch up with me. We'll be back with you next week, but there is an important message that I do want to give you, is because we have where one discipline closes, another one opens, and what we have coming up very shortly is not long at all. We have the Team Total Distance, which starts tomorrow. And an important message from us at Woo is that it's really available now on a Garmin watch that has Connect IQ. If you have that, you can just download the app. There's 2 apps that Woo do for that. One which will allow you to use and contribute to our sessions here without a Woo, but one which will sync up with the Woo as well, recording all your jumps as well. So make sure you get on that. We've got lots of people that are excited about that Team Total Distance, which is going to be really fun. I wonder if the Danish Daisies have got the energy to carry on with those big, long marathon sessions. But for me, Lewis, on our weekly catch-up, I'm going to say goodbye to you now, and I'll bring you all the latest from the Woo Worlds in about a week's time. See you later.